This Hulkbuster event is the worst in Marvel Strike Force since that trashy Agatha event. But in this video, I'm breaking down what you need to do to max as many of these milestones as possible without becoming a Kraken. The rumors of a Milestone 3 orb coming soon. Which character is coming to that orb? And we got the latest info on Red Hulk and his abilities. How necessary is this character going to be? We're discussing this along with your questions from the mailbag, because it is Monday, so you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Club. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you've had a great weekend. Welcome to the ValleyFlyin channel. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. If you have already subscribed, welcome back. This is Mailbag Monday. So what we do in this video, we answer your questions from Discord. So the link to our Discord server is down below. If you want to join that and get one of your questions potentially featured on these videos that we do every Monday, unless we push it back to a Tuesday, make sure you are a member of the Discord. And without further ado though, Valley Club, let's talk about Red Hulk, the new horseman coming to Marvel Strike Force. We got the info on him on the Marvel Strike Force website. If we go to the Age of Apocalypse section, type in Red Hulk on the /Red Hulk to finish it off. We see the info on Red Hulk there. We see the preview for him right here. We see the fire burning all over him, that gamma fire burning on him. And we have the info on him. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross spent years pursuing the Hulk and an obsession that eventually led to the death of his daughter Betty. He allied himself with the supervillain's leader and MODOK in a pact to seek vengeance against the Hulk in exchange for bringing Betty back from the dead. Using Hulk's body and energy, Ross was transformed into the monstrous Red Hulk, a red-skinned beast with a similar size and strength to that of the regular Hulk. Unlike the Hulk, Ross can constantly transform into the Red Hulk, along with possessing the powers to absorb energy from and emit fiery gamma radiation. As we go down and take a look at more of his kits and his abilities, we see that he's going to be a brawler. We'll take a look at his in-game character model in just a little bit, but it's going to be the Gamma team features high damage and health stats, and he should for a brawler. Most brawler characters feature a lot of damage and health. He crushes foes with big attacks, clears enemy revive once. So goodbye to Dormammu teams that you're trying to defend with when you got Red Hulk on there. And it's not clear if this is just for war, if this is also going to extend to Crucible, because this could change how Crucible is if this Red Hulk is clearing these revive ones. Applies negative effects, including trauma and heal blocks. So yes, this will be a counter to those dirty heroes for our on war defense. Red Hulk also features gamma radiation battlefield effect, which causes enemies to get attacked and gain 3 bleed on their turn. That sounds horrible if that is happening to your team, but sounds awesome if you're doing that to the enemies. Let's go scroll down just a little bit more and see what his character model looks like. Then we see the character model of Red Hulk and the rest of the Gamma team. We see some of his animations in game right here. I'm assuming that this is one of his moves, probably that gamma radiation effect though. And we see the names of his moves: Fiery Fist, Pavement Plummet, Pummel, Meteor Crash, Seeing Red, and we see his tags here: Hero, Global, Bio, Brawler, Gamma. Let's keep moving this back. It is scrolling through, so we're trying to keep this Gamma, Horseman, Legendary, and War Ready. And that War Ready tag comes because he has his ISO 8. That's not necessary to tag. All right, transforming the battlefield, we held on a Gamma team are Brawn, aka Amadeus Cho, Abomination, Hulk, and She-Hulk. And this team can smash the top squads out there, but they tower over the competition in Alliance War. That is their specialty. So that is Red Hulk. That is a preview of him. That was released earlier or late last week. Let's go into the game now and talk about this Hulkbuster trashy milestones. All right, so before we get into all these milestones and what you need to do to get the most amount of the Hulkbuster shards and these relay circuits for these Techno Future milestones, let's talk about how trashy this event is. First thing let's talk about is these bugs. So this was sent out late last night, like soon after the milestones were supposed to go live. Blitz, which is our main source of these heavy orb fragments, not rewarding players fragments for the event as intended. Issue was we resolved soon, but this was sent out 8:35, so over an hour and a half after server reset happened. We were supposed to be blitzing. Well, this was sent out hour and a half after that. I think it was solved a little over 2 hours before this, which means that players that were blitzing were able to get maybe 2 full rotations before this was solved. So this, hopefully they issue some good credit soon. The web store not loading properly. So yeah, more bugs. And the first reward in the new calendar did not give players the progress towards the new event in the time zones where the event hadn't started. We'll follow up messaging soon tomorrow to address the third issue, as well as more information on issue 1. So as of right now, no response from the devs about this, what they're gonna do, but they did get a response last night. The Blitz issue has been resolved and it requires all players to restart their game in order to receive the heavy armor orbs. The other issues from this weekend are being discussed and will be resolved tomorrow. Let's go back into the game because those bugs were not the only issue. If we go into these milestones here, we'll see that, well, we're going to talk about this monster reverse machine in just a little bit. We're also going to talk about this armored architect, which is a milestone for spending power cores. Now, one thing that's really trashy that Scopely did, I'm not very happy about this. If we go to the orb section here, there used to be this bulk up orb, a Hulkbuster orb that we could buy, like this champion orb for Vision for 675 cores. Well, now that we could spend power cores in making progress towards the event, that was removed. And instead we have these offers here. If we go all the way down towards the bottom here, we have some offers that have Hulkbuster, kind of misleading, getting it for all Hulkbuster, but except you got this. 800 cores, which is more expensive than the 675 that we used to be able to purchase. This is only 5 shards. You only get 5 of these, so max amount you could get is 40 shards for Hulkbuster. The minimum for that Hulkbuster orb was 6 with a maximum of 100. This is way worse. So that's another trashy thing that they did. As far as the milestones themselves, well, people are saying this is just as bad as Agatha. This may be worse than Agatha because these milestones, there's no real way to get Hulkbuster shards until we get all the way down here into milestone 34, and this is not very free to play friendly. As you'll see in just a little bit as we talk about what you need to do to get these milestones, a lot of grinding in order to get those 30 shards. There's no real way to get any guaranteed shards like we did with Agatha. That was 7 days, or that was 10 days. This is only 7 days, so less shards total for Hulkbuster. And I have to be honest, this may be less shards than a Blitz release character. This event is lasting for 7 days. So instead of blitzing for 3 days and then another 3 days, 6 days total, we're blitzing for 7 days total if you want to get all these milestones and less shards. I know with these previous Blitz release characters, I could get a 4-star character. Well, it looks like as a free-to-play player grinding really hard in this, you'll be able to get 3 stars on your Hulkbuster, maybe 4 if you're really, really grinding, but not as much as grinding Blitz because you have to do a lot of other things like spending power cores, spending an insane amount of energy. So very, very trashy event in my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are. Scopely, I know you guys can do better. That quality assurance, that testing, those bugs, not really working probably because every single event we're getting more and more bugs, and that is the trashiness of this event. Let me know in your opinion, is this worse than Agatha? Is this better than Agatha? Is this one of the worst events that we've ever had for a character release? Because in my mind, this is a pretty bad event and maybe one of the worst character releases that we've had. But without further ado, now it's time to see how you can manipulate this event to get the most amount of shards for your Hulkbuster, most amount of points for these Techno Future milestones. We see these Monster vs. Machine milestones, and there's a few big milestones that I want to point you to. The first is at milestone 24. This is where you're going to get that AI response matrix. That is going to give you 6,000 points towards the Techno Future milestones. Next one I want to point you to is milestone 26. This is where you're going to get all of those relay circuits, all the maximum amount of points that you could get in this event for that Techno Future milestones. The rest of it is just some good stuff that you get. Like at milestone 34, where you're gonna get the maximum amount of Hulkbuster shards. The only time you're gonna get Hulkbuster shards in these milestones. And then obviously if you go all the way to milestone 35, that is gonna get you to everything. Now, as far as what you would need for all of these, if you wanna get all of these milestones here, you're gonna need to open some of these heavy armor orb fragments. So basically each orb is 2,000 points to get all of these fragments. You don't necessarily need to get all 2,000 of these to get a full orb, because it's not by opening these, it's just by earning these. So you don't need to get all of these orbs, but basically to get all of this 35, milestone 35, you're gonna need to open 97 of these orbs, or at least earn enough points for 97 orbs to get to milestone 34, which is a big difference between 34 and 35. Only 79 orbs, and that's gonna give you the max amount of Hulkbuster shards for these milestones. One of the more important ones is down here at milestone 26, because like I said, this is where you could get the most amount of these relay circuits. You're gonna need only 31 orbs for this one, and if you want this relay circuit here at milestone 24, only 27 orbs, so not as much if you're just going to max out this event. It is a lot of grinding if you're going to try to get the most max amount of Hulkbuster shards, so that is what you need. Now the total relay circuits, you have 1,116, you have this 186, it happens 6 times in this, and that is a little bit over 1,000 relay circuits that you get in this, and what we would need to do to get points for this is blitzing. Now, with these previous blitzing events that we've had in the past, you're gonna get points for every blitz win that you get. So in this case, you're gonna get 50 points or 50 fragments at the minimum. Most of the time, I'd say over 95% of the time, you're getting only 50 fragments, but you can get 100, you can get 450, you can get up to 2,000. Now, in these previous events that they've run for 7 days, I've gotten that 2,000 happening once or twice in previous events. So that is what you could expect if you're grinding a lot and blitzing a lot. Maybe 1 or 2 of those 2,000 point earning of those fragments that you get per blitz win. So that is what you get. Now, if you have 37 teams in blitz and you're expecting that bare minimum of 50 fragments per blitz win, let's say you don't get any luck, you don't get any of those advanced options or any of those higher tiered rewards, and it's going to be 37 teams, 50 fragments per. That is 1,850. So almost a full orb if you get very unlucky. I think there's 42 teams total right now as far as our save squads. You could do a little more than that if you have a better win percentage than that. But averaging, getting some lucky, not just getting those minimums. Per rotation, you should be getting about 1 orb per rotation. And if you're doing the full 8 rotation per day for the whole 7 days of this event, that is 56 orbs total. And that is gonna put you above that milestone 26. That's gonna give you all of those relay points. It will not get you to that Hulkbuster at milestone 34 though. So if we go down here, if you wanna get those extra Hulkbuster shards, you're not gonna be able to do it with just blitzing unless you get really, really lucky and get a lot of those 2,000 point drops or those higher than 50 point drops on this, and some of that is based on RNG. But yeah, 56 total orbs that you're getting, that should get you to miles right around here or so. So you could get the milestone 24. If you want to get to milestone 26 though, you're gonna have to do a little bit more, and we have more events going on right now though. This is probably the trashiest one. This is the Armored Architect event, and you could get points for this by spending power cores. If we look in here, 1 power core is 1 point, and if we look for the entire event going on right now, there's 10,000 points. So basically over 7 days you would have to spend 10,000 power cores. That is over 1,400 power cores per day, 1,430 to be exact, and that's going to give you 38 fragment. Those are 19 orbs total that you get for the life of this event. If you are really spending a lot of power cores, that's a lot of power cores to be spending 7 days in a row though. So I don't know if most players are gonna get that. If you're spending 500 power cores per day, that should get you to milestone 16, which gives you some vision shards, gives you some dark promo credits. It's also gonna give you 12,000 fragments at this breakpoint for 16. That's gonna give you 6 extra orbs. So that's gonna go to that total of whatever you're doing towards blitz. If you're doing a lot of rotations, again, 7 days, 8 rotations per day, 56 orbs if you get the worst RNG for that. And then milestone 17, 1 more milestone, that's gonna give you a 4 red star Iron Man. That is spending an average of 643 cores per day. That is 15,000 fragments again, which is a little over 7 orbs there. So you get a lot with this. You could get a lot of orbs if you're spending a crap load of power cores. I'm not sure if that's worth it though. Let's talk about one more milestone going on right now. And this is a daily milestone going on in the web store right now. So this can get you a total daily 4,000 fragments per day, but you need to spend a lot of energy per day for this. It is a lot. It is over 3,000 energy per day if we look at these milestones. Now, it is not just your normal campaign energy. It's a combination, if we look at this, of your campaign and ISO 8 energy. So you're getting 1 point per campaign, 1 point per ISO 8. And if you're spending 3,000 of that per day, which I don't think most players are going to do, you could get a lot of, or you could get those 4,000 fragments, which for the life of the event is 28,000 fragments, which is about 14 extra orbs towards your total. Now, if you're spending right around here, I'm shooting for milestone 15 here. That is not going to be a lot of fragments, but over the course of these all 7 days, that's going to be about 1,250 fragments per day, just doing these milestones with these fragments here, these heavy armor fragments. And if you're doing that every single day, that should get you 8,750 fragments. That's pretty realistic without going too crazy in your power core or your energy usage. And over the course of that is over the course of this entire 7-day event, because this is refreshing every 7 days, that should be about 4 orbs there. So hopefully this helps with this grind in this event. It is a pretty trashy event, but as far as getting all of the relay circuits and everything that you need just for the event, I think getting down to this point, milestone 26, is pretty realistic. It is going to be a pretty hard grind to get all these Hulkbuster shards, though. And so you could take that for what it's worth. Hopefully, you could use that towards your calculations to see if it's worth it for you to grind or if it's worth it for you to save on this event and push for the next one. That is it, though. Let me know your thoughts on this event. In my opinion, though, it's a pretty trashy event. It's a pretty trashy, grindy event. And after this entire event, and getting all the matrix points, if you get that AI matrix, if you get all of those relay circuits, and after the Wave 1 Avengers Blitz, the quick rumble blitz that is happening in a few days, that should leave you. And if you've gotten all the relay circuits so far, that should leave you at 48,782 points, which is still a little bit short of all these Techno Future milestones. So if we get a few more of those 1 core offers, that should put most free-to-play players over that 50,000 threshold if they haven't missed any points. But that is where you should be ending up right now. We need at least 3 more of those 1 core offers that give those 520 points per of those relay points per offer, and they've been doing a lot of those in the past. So let me know how you're doing on this event, the Hulkbuster event, the Techno Future event. In my opinion, this is trash. Hopefully you can do better. You could be less greedy and make it a little more accessible, make it a little more fun, not make it so grindy, not make this a chore, make this a fun experience that the players want to play. I hope they're listening. I hope they do that. But that is my thoughts on this event. Pretty trash. Let's talk about your questions from the mailbag. Hey, Valley, when you contact customer support using the so-called helpful bot, oh yeah, that bot is so helpful, which does not give options to actually contact about an issue you may have. You get a canned response, will leave the ticket open for the next 30 minutes. Why does it then stay open for anything up to 2 days, which means you can't contact them regarding other issues, such as a major issue I'm having in Cosmic Crucible, with this lag taking up to 20 seconds for a character to make a move, and I'm playing on a wired 200 meg connection. Yeah, so I'm wondering if that is having to do with more with the device you're using on. I know BlueStacks for me works very good on all games, but very, very laggy with Marvel Strike Force, but my iPhone does not lag. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with the device you're using. I know BlueStacks has issues with Marvel Strike Force, but no other games there. So I know it's on Marvel Strike Force's end. As far as the customer support ticket, though, I know when I've done them in the past, I was able to open one for iOS and another one for my BlueStacks, aka Android device. So if you're contacting them on an iOS, then good thing for you. You could download BlueStacks and contact them on Android also. If you're contacting them at Android, I'm not sure if you can do something with the iOS store, but hopefully they close these. You know, a lot of times when I've left those canned responses, you have to go through a few prompts, maybe like 5 or 6 prompts to actually leave your question. Normally I've gotten pretty lucky with the customer service that I've written, but I'm very, very direct, very frank. This is what has happened. This is what I want in response to that. And I'm not too, I want just to be made whole for what I want. I don't need extra compensation. So usually they're pretty easy with that. They're pretty good with that. Most customer service I don't have to write in a few times, although there's sometimes I do. So hopefully you can keep writing on that response, and hopefully they could close it, which will allow you to open a new one. Or if you've left your original message on iOS, you could go into Android and leave a message there. Hopefully that helps with the customer service. But just in my opinion, in my experience, you have to get lucky with customer service. Sometimes you get some good ones and they do exactly what you want. Sometimes you get some bad ones and you gotta keep pushing, or they leave these tickets open for so long you can't really do anything. So hopefully you get a good one next time and they close your tickets at a decent time frame. Really torn between Fortifier and Striker with Hulkbuster. Which one do I go with? Well, I think it's pretty obvious when you look at the basic assist counter info for Hulkbuster. So let's go do that right now. Let's go bring him down, and you see what his assist encounter does. He's going to attack the primary target for 180 damage with 15% piercing. That's good. In raids, this is the big one though. Barrier self and all allies for 5% of this character's max health. So anytime he's getting an ISO 8 assist, everybody's getting 5% more barrier based on the health of Hulkbuster. So you got a pretty weak Hulkbuster because you're not grinding as much as the event. You haven't spent a lot of money on Hulkbuster. Well, it might not be a lot of health, but this is the barrier that you want, or actually it's not a lot of barrier. This is the barrier that you want. Fortifier, there is actually a limit. I think it's based on 40% of the original character's max health. So if you top that off, they're not going to get more max health. Now, I think this is 25% of more of barriers. So based on his max barrier, not just the 25%, because this 50 right here, if this 50% of his health would push him over. So I think this is based on the max barrier of the character, but there is a max, and Fortifier would just be topping that off every time. So I think Striker is the way to go for Hulkbuster, at least just because of the extra barrier is going to provide to the rest of this team. One of my mates, Alliance mates, plays in Mexico. The Spanish version of this game does not show the basic for Viv, saying in raids call Vision to assist on her basic. They've reported it, but I was hoping someone could verify this. I am not in Mexico. I don't have that translation, but the translation is wrong. You know, sometimes they got to translate this into many different languages. And I think what has happened here is they forgot to include this line here when you T4 the basic there. So I think it's just something that they forgot. I don't think they changed the codes between regions. So I think it's just a typo that they've done there. I think he's still going to generate a random ability. Oh, and gain assist. Actually, we were talking about the assist, right? Not the ability entry. I think he's still going to gain or she's still going to gain assist when Vision is an ally. I think that's just something that was neglected. Surprise, surprise. I know, right? All right, moving on. So I was thinking about how Scopely cannot make themselves not a liar. Fat chance, right? I know, right? I mean, everything's subject to change. That's why they put that little blurb in at the end of every blog post, so they're not liars. So yeah, everything is subject to change. So technically, no matter what they do, even if it's severely different from what they wrote on a blog, they've covered themselves because it does say subject to change on all of their blog posts now. But I get what you're saying, my brother. After each horseman gets their first win, make the saga for that horseman available right away. That way, Apocalypse may have a shot of being available this year. Hopefully, the devs hear the suggestion. Have a great day, my brother. Have a great day as well. But this is the reason that I was saying the earliest that we can expect Apocalypse is in December. Now, I'm not expecting him just based on what we've seen from these previous Scourgers till early 2023. But if we're getting Red Hulk in September, and all indications are we're getting Red Hulk in September, we're going to get the next Death team probably in October, which means Death themselves is coming in November. which means if we getting them back to back, the earliest I guess we could see them is November. If we see Apocalypse. But my thought was they're gonna bring the war back maybe December, or they would need time to bring Death back. So maybe January, maybe February. If they're really pushing it, like you said, they have that available right away, probably in November, but I'm thinking they're gonna delay it. So we're not gonna get Apocalypse till December, January. I think January, February is most likely, but I believe everything that they said is subject to change. So technically they're not liars. They've really covered their butts on that one. I have a funny question. Who do you think the Death Horseman will be? I've seen two conflicting rumors about it, with content creators saying one, another content creator saying another tune. Who do you think the rumors, what do you think about the rumors about the Death Horseman? Well, the rumors I've heard are Death Archangel. I've also heard rumors that there could be a female Archangel, but the initial rumors I heard way back in the day from Druid, there are going to be 2 male horsemen, 2 female horsemen. We've already got 2 female horsemen in Morgan Le Fay and Rogue, which would mean that Red Hulk and another male, if what the rumors were back at the time still hold true. As we know, Scopely changes things all the time. So that may have been their initial intent, and then they changed everything up. I'm going to go with Archangel Joe. I know some people are guessing different characters. I'm going to go with that original guess of Archangel, and I hope it's correct. I hope we don't get some weird Archangel because, or some weird Death character, because for me, that purple and blue Archangel with Apocalypse, that is iconic in my mind. And if Marvel Strike Force does not at least have that, I know this is their own unique story that they've made up. If they don't at least have Archangel paired up with Apocalypse, that'll be a major miss in my opinion. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with Archangel. Let me know who you think the next Horseman is going to be, though. I don't know all the conflicting rumors, so let me know who you think it's going to be. If it's one of those rumors or something else that you're guessing right now. All right, totally unrelated to question to MSF, but when does a content creator get bigger than the community itself? I'm asking a philosopher a question in his Discord and ping him directly. Immediately got a Autobot warning say that philosopher being pinged goes directly against his Discord rules. And a warning was issued. Ouch. I guess he's more busy than some of the other content creators. And a warning was issued. What's the point of having a public Discord if you're not being public yourself with your own Discord? Thought it was funny. Yeah, I know. Hey, you guys can ping me on my Discord. I try to answer as many Discords as possible. But honestly, the best way, if you want to ping me and ask me a question, tag me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter a little bit more than Discord. So if you want to reach me, that's the best place to ask a question for me. But feel free to ping me on Discord. And then when I open it up, I'll do my best to answer them all. But yeah, I guess everybody has their own priorities. And I know Philosopher has a full-time job that's he's very successful. This is kind of a fun thing for him. For me, this Marvel Strike Force is my thing. All right. Hulk Fistbone to you, my brother. Oh, Hulk Fistbone back, my brother. I became a victim of the claim all budget. Oh, that for me at least. I know some people enjoy that button, but for me, that has had no positive effects in Marvel Strike Force at all. It's just I'm not. I think I might have pushed it once, but the other few times I pushed, I know I did not push it, and I just, it got claimed all. I think I was claiming another mail, and it just claimed all, or I was closing out, and it just claimed all. Happened a few times, but you've become a victim of it. Extremely careful, since it was added to the game. This is causing more trouble than it helps. Will this button be gone anytime soon? If both of our wishes are granted, then it will be gone soon. At least, I know there's some people that like it, so at least put it as an option in advanced options. So you could turn it on and turn it off, kind of like we did with the auto raids. And I like how they separated that per game mode, because I want that in Arena. I don't want that in War. And I want that in only Greek raids, but not in my Doom raids. So I'm turning that off for raids. But if they made it this claim all button on and off, so you could turn it on and get some rewards and then turn it off and not have to worry about it, then I think it'll be a lot more well received. But I know for myself, it's had nothing but negative consequences since it was added to the game. Not a positive feature for me. Greetings from the Philippines. What is up, Bongo? All right, I really hate Crucible right now. My last round, I had a near perfect run. No losses, no loss of characters, minimal damage with every character's health meter at the top or near the top, and somehow I still lost by 100 points. Looked at my defense, and my opponent's run was almost exact same, except for one Wolverine on a Weapon X team who was in the middle of the bar. How did I not win that round? What am I doing wrong? I'm totally lost right now, and it's totally it's taking me out of caring for that mode. I've just gone on autopilot because why should I care? Honestly, I get credit either way. So there's a few different tiebreakers for that. Obviously, it's the characters, and I think it sounds like you guys have tied in that character selection part. But yeah, there's a few other ones. One of the character selection, or one of the tiebreakers is a turn. So perhaps your opponent had taken way less turns than you. I know Eternals are pretty effective on that, but perhaps your opponent's taken less turns than you and scored more because of that, even though you had a little bit more health. But let's go into the game and review some of these tiebreakers, because I think I've heard some complaints that, hey, I've got the most points in my whole bracket, but I've lost. And again, a lot of it is based on wins, and those tiebreakers only come into play when you don't have the wins, or you have an equal amount of wins. So all right, so completing trials, stages clear each trial, you get the living tribunal victory points. The victory points are only for tiebreakers. It's all about wins here, guys. I know that wasn't your question, Bongo, but a lot of people are asking about the score. As far as winning the Crucible on all Crucible trials completed, the living tribunal ranks and giving the rewards. All right, this is how the victory points are calculated here. Full clear, 7,500 victory points. Attempt bonus up to 8,000 or 800, and that is your attempts. So if breaking this down even more, 800 points for a full clear in one attempt, 400 points if it takes 2 attempts, 0 thereafter. So that is how that works. Knockouts, obviously killing the most characters works, but I don't think that was a factor here because you guys were same. Healthy character bonus, 20 victory points. So it looks like this is where there was some divergence. Maybe their Wolverine had less points than you. I'm thinking this is where it may have been the most points, so 30 victory points. I know you lost by 100, so it could be a few different rooms, just taking a few more turns. I'm not sure. Each non-summoning character left standing in the end of match where you clear a stage awards 1 victory points for 25% of their health remaining. So that is your own characters. When they're healthy, you get victory points for that. And turn bonus starting at 30 points, reduce 1 by every turn your characters take across all attempts needed to clear the stage. So if all of those were there and you still did all that stuff and still lost, then I'm gonna guess it's a bug. But I'm guessing somewhere in that turn bonus is where where your opponent may have taken less turns than you. Or it's just a bug. Of course, this is a Scopely game, you know. You could be doing everything right and still lose. That's how it works sometimes in this. All right, sorry, but I have my second question about Milestone 3 orb rumors from one of the data mine orbs. What tool will they make Milestone 3 orb exclusive? What are your thoughts? I have no idea which they're gonna make, but let's go into the game. I'll give you my prediction on kind of who I think would be logical and kind of who I want to be in there. All right, so Gambit would be a really, really cool character, especially based on his limited release on those Gambit raids, those trashy Gambit raids. I'm actually hoping those Gambit raids return, though. I'm one of the people that like those raids, but I know there's a lot of people that did not. There's a few aspects of it that I like. There's a lot of aspects that I didn't like as well. But if they returned with some of the aspects that I didn't like that was cleared up, I would be liking the Gambit raids. But I think that would be my first choice, or one of the choices there. Another one that I would think would be likely coming to this is a character we've also gotten very limited shards on because of her trashy Blitz release, and that is Agatha. So obviously, if they're a character like Emma, very versatile and using a bunch of different game modes on a bunch of different teams, I think Agatha sort of fits that bill. Gambit kind of fits that bill. He's kind of like a bishop though, very good with rogue, not as good outside of that team. T'Challa is a good character. I don't see him in the Milestone orb. Back in the day, I saw Silver Surfer as that, but yeah, it looks like it could be one of the Eternals as well. You know, we know that the Eternals are going to come farmable. Scopely consider those orbs farmable, even though I don't. So maybe that's where they're going to be added to their farmable section there. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. My guess right now is Agatha, Gambit, or one of the Eternals. What are your thoughts? If they do change up that Milestone orb to a Milestone orb 3, what character do you think is going to be replacing Emma in that? All right, Yo Valley was watching MG's video about account deletion, I was thinking about deleting my default account from years back and upload for a new updated baby account. Really afraid of it somehow affecting my main account. Do you happen to know more about it? Well, I do. I haven't deleted an account. But what I have done is create several accounts over the years. I've played my main account all the time, but over the years I've started new accounts to try to get that new player experience. And what I've noticed is when you're linking your account, link your main account to some Facebook account. Don't try to converge those. If you start a new account on your device, make sure you have all your information backed up, linked to that Facebook account. Very, very important. And if you're starting a new account and you delete your account, make sure you link it to a different Facebook account. So start a separate Facebook account, maybe make it your second gaming account, and then just a link to your Facebook account that you want to associate with this account. Don't try to use same Facebook account for different games. One game, one Facebook account. So if you're deleting that old account, make sure you're using a different Facebook account than you did that you associated that original account with. I hope that makes sense, but just make sure that your saves aren't cross-contaminated, and I think you should be good. What is up, Valley? Not a question, but can you suggest a feature in the advanced tab to do auto donate 10K to Alliance? We already have auto on some of the daily milestones, or maybe just put in auto daily milestones. I forgot to donate one today and I feel bad. Yeah, you know, sometimes when I miss it and I donate on the after server or after daily reset, before the server reset, and you know, you don't get that oh, you got to donate your Alliance in the objectives, and sometimes I forget on that second day. So yeah, it would be helpful. It would be helpful. Most of the time you're going to see it because of that daily objective, but on things that I described, you fall asleep early, you don't do all that stuff, and then next day you claim it, well, yeah, that's when it doesn't show up. So it would be very, very helpful. I would like this feature. I like this feature. Put that into auto in the advanced features as well, my friend. All right, yo, Valley, my friend, you've been 13 for, how have you been? You've been 13 for 13. Well, we are 14 for 14, my friend. I do have a question, but I thought I'd do something fun. Decided to make a Mount Rushmore of MSF content. All right, here we go. ValleyFlyin, Rem, Tana, Heartgrave. What do you think about this top 4? Number 5 is Goofy. 6 is Dorky now. To my question, are we ever gonna try to get you guys making a video interviewing one at Boundless with the actual tough questions asked? I thought I asked some tough questions before. I thought I was a little lacking in my follow-up questions. I could have asked some tougher questions there, but I thought my last interview went pretty good. But yeah, I do need to do another one because the game has changed. Some ways for the better and in some ways for the worse. And I would like to follow up with Brother Sean to see what his thoughts are and all that. And the only thing I would have to do is submit a list of questions before that. But yeah, even he was pretty good with answering questions that weren't on the list the last time. So we can do that. We just got to get a format down and kind of limit the discussion or pinpoint the discussion so it's focused on one thing or focused on a few things and not just this broad video about the game. Yeah, a lot of times those interviews go pretty long. I mean, this game seems to be going in the wrong direction. No tower, no pocket, constant bottlenecks, terrible milestones, and playability mechanics. Oh, hold on. Don't forget about all of the bugs here. I don't know if you can remember with the initial rotation, the blitz rotation of this Hulkbuster event, that was bugged. That didn't work correctly when it first ran on. So for the first over 2 hours, so the first 2 and maybe 3 the first 1 or 2 rotations for most players, they were scoring 0 points for the Hulkbuster milestone. So hopefully that gets fixed very, very soon. Magic says needs to add Boilon, Philosopher, Dogbird to that. What about my brother Mobile Gamer? Why is he not on this Mount Rushmore of content creators of Marvel Strike Force? He was my inspiration to create the channel. So for me, he's gonna be on that list. Sorry to ask another question, but if you buy an offer for an event like this Monster vs. Machine event, would getting ahead in an event like that, is that cheating or just getting ahead more in the mouse? It's not cheating. No, it's exactly what the devs want you to do. Spend more money on this game. You're gonna be like a saint in the devs' eyes if you do that. That is exactly what they want. And that is exactly the end of the questions for the mailbag. Hopefully you guys had a fun time this week. A lot of questions, a lot of heat over these Hulkbuster milestones, the trashiness of it. Let me know your thoughts on this. Is this worse or better than Agatha based on these characters? I guess my question is, do you think Hulkbuster is more worth it or Agatha is more worth it for you to grind these blitz on? Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on Red Hulk as well. And I will see you guys next time. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content, at least 5 videos per week on this channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.